I wanted to redeem myself a little bit. I don't know if I can, fuck knows, who knows. So, what I noticed the other day, the last video about the 35mm film, I went out with a Kodak Gold 24 and took some photos. Today I'm up on top of Benevena. I was up here surfing, I stayed last night. Did an early morning surf for a few hours, caught up with a few friends. And then I decided to come and shoot this because I wanted to try something. Now, what I did last time with this film was, I wasn't paying attention, but when I looked back at some of the footage, basically I rolled the film the wrong way into the camera. So I rolled it under itself, oh Jesus, rather than over itself. So I fucked it. Right, where's my jacket? Take this check shirt off, put this check shirt on. Oh, cozy. I'm shooting on 2 different cameras. The A7 III, I've got a 24-70, 7200. And then I've also got a film camera for a little walk. Look at this, cool little lake, isn't that nice? That is Benevena Lake. You can drive straight up to the top of the lake and you can get a really good access point to everything. There's a really nice scenic route from Downhill Beach that drives up, but road's closed because it's a fucking sketchy road on a good day, and I think some things have given way on it. Benevena is a mountain range and it sits up overlooking Benone Beach, McGilligan Point, over into Loch Foyle, west side of the north coast. There's a really cool little train station out that direction. The train line comes from there. It comes the whole way along this direction. It's a beautiful, beautiful journey. If you haven't got the train from Derry to Portrush, highly recommend it. The context as to where we are. If you're not from Northern Ireland, just skip this bit. But if you are from Northern Ireland, very loosely, that beach down in the background is Benone. And this whole mountain range here is Benevena. And then that is McGilligan Point out there. And then Limavady would be behind me somewhere here. Derry's over there. Muff. Red Castle is over there somewhere. And that whole loch of land out there is called Inishowen. Now, if you're not from Northern Ireland, the north is there. The north is that direction somewhere. And if you go that way, you go back into Portrush. But that piece of land there is Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, and this is Northern Ireland. So Derry or Londonderry, depending. I'm on the wrong side for somebody calling it Derry. Fuck me tonight, got that wrong, didn't I? So you've got Republic of Ireland and then Northern Ireland, or the South and the North, even though the South is more northerly than the North. Territories, huh? Who needs them? Beautiful part of the world over there, Inishowen. Cycled that once, Inishowen 100 miles around the whole peninsula. Fucking wrecked me. I wanted to do it again this year. Not sure if I have it in me. Anyway, right, gonna put that away for now. The drive up here to Benevena Lake is very nice, bumpy at times, but very accessible. These are very high cliffs. If you don't like heights, don't stand here. It's not very windy today. I would not advise standing this close on a windy day. I've always really enjoyed getting up to like high locations and seeing everything because it puts things into perspective. You know, it gives you a different view of what you're used to seeing, freshens things up. I didn't realize the train went over that bridge, which is kind of cool. When you're in a plane and you're flying into a city, like maybe you're not from, all right, and you're landing, as you're landing, you look down out the window and you see all the little cars and the people cruising about, and you're like, what are they doing today? And these people just cracking on with their day, doing normal stuff, and you're in a plane land. That's kind of like this. There's people down there doing stuff today, and I'm up here fucking around on the top of a hill. Highly recommend the trip up. Shoot a few more photos, we'll go down to that little train station-y thing. This is a really dog shit lens, by the way. When I bought that lens, it was like I'd first moved over from Canon to Sony, so I was changing camera brands. At the time, Canon just didn't offer the video functionality that I needed for what I wanted to do. So I'd always used 7200s on the Canons, and I thought, oh, I have to get a 7200. But the difference at the time, I was buying a new body and I was buying a handful of lenses, and it was like double the price to go f2.8 instead of the f4. So I got the f4, which is small and light, and in good light it's okay. It almost renders itself useless though in like nighttime. You can't shoot a gig with it. You'd be better off shooting it with a baguette. No, I'm gonna do with that photo is the problem. Yeah. Check this out. This one here. I don't know why I said train station. It's not actually a train station. It's actually gone. I'm not even sure if it has anything to do with the train people, TransLink, or railway or anything. It looks like is it someone's house? Anyway, it's just kind of cool looking. Their fault. They put a McGilligan sign there. Looks very official, but it's just that it's nestled in under the mountain here. So we were up there, right in the far point, all the way up there. That's the rest of Benevna there that goes down to, you know. Shoot a few photos here and then we'll get moving. Back gets itchy. Put my hand in a nail like a dick. The first time I've ever stopped there to do anything. It's actually not that interesting once you stop at it. So just drive past it slowly, look at it and go, that's quaint, and then just move on with your lives. Where to next? Earlier on today I was down in Benone Beach, shooting a couple of photos, having a coffee. This beach, Benone. Oh, traffic lights, that's where we are next. Let's, I was gonna go down to the beach and go for a surf, and it's windy. I can't really be bothered. I got a good surf this morning, so I'm gonna go home. So let's take this and that roll of film to another day. It's another day. I just lost so much enthusiasm that day to do stuff. I don't know why. I think the day took longer than it needed to be. I'm in a campsite, Kilbrony Forest Park, in a caravan site. It's empty. There's no one about, you know? A couple of people there. I had a shoot in Newry today, and then I've got another all-day shoot tomorrow for a different client in a place called Carlingford. The two shoots are not far from each other, but it's a long drive back to where I live. I don't really feel like the hour 20-minute drive back and an hour 25-minute drive in the morning. It's a bit of a traipse. So I just did this instead. And that's the benefit of having the van. Not only for dicking about and surfing and things like that, but also for functional stuff. I was just gonna park up on the side of the beach, but I'm gonna go to a shoot tomorrow. I wanna get a shower in the morning. You got nice amenities, running water. I don't have electric in the van, so it doesn't really matter. I'm chilling out. I just had some dinner. I'm copying over footage from the shoot today, backing that stuff up onto hard drives. Alright, so this is the Mourne coastal route. Mourne mountains are behind, like way behind us. That's Ross Trevor. It's mountain biking, enduro, like downhill and enduro mountain biking, trails, cross-country trails, that sort of stuff, hiking, things like that. Let's leave this here. Okay, it's a part of the world I walk through. I don't really ever spend much time in it. And I don't know why, because it's fucking beautiful. Like, look at this. That side there is the Republic of Ireland. I feel like there's a lot of this in this video. This side is the north, and that side is the Republic. That is the Republic. You go that direction, down to Dublin. That direction to a town called Newcastle. Cruise back up the coast to where I live. I need to be over there somewhere tomorrow. I misjudged how long this lock thing goes in for. Very far. the back of the van. That was quite a nice evening. I'm glad I went out. It's 10 o'clock now, so gonna have a beer, gonna chill out for a bit and then go to sleep. I brought the other camera with me, thinking I could maybe cross-reference it and, you know, expose it, and then I realized, and then all the batteries went flat on that camera and on this camera. Back in the van. Pretty simple setup in here, as you can see. Folds out into a bed, blankets, cupboards. There's no electric in it at the minute. I've ordered like an Anchor power base that should be coming this week. That's like a remote, kind of like having a leisure battery, but you can charge all your stuff off it, because like I have to charge them. I got an older MacBook that needs to charge off a little plug thing. I'm shooting with a film camera and I'm shooting with a digital camera because they feel very different. The way I'm even approaching the photos, which I want to go into a bit more depth about. I don't know if it's just me or if everyone does that, but I'm definitely using the, and look, it might be a lens thing. It's a fixed 35mm on that Ricoh camera, so maybe that's partly to do with it. But I definitely feel like I'm approaching my shots very different. And I guess maybe with having a zoom, I quite like compression on photos. Took a few photographs with it. Hopefully they turn out all right. We'll pop that film off to the film guys, get that back, and we'll just bounce into the studio and take a look at them. All right, so the photos are back from Jessup's. The negatives look good on the film photos. Generally, they're all in focus, which is a good start. So I am pretty convinced that me loading the film in the wrong way the last time cocked it up, which really is a given when you think about it. They did, however, scan everything in the wrong way around in Jessup, so my photos are flipped, so I've had to flip the digital ones back. I'm happy with my shots, my framing, my exposure. I mean, maybe the prints don't really do it that much justice on the screen here, but yeah, generally they're all okay. But now, you gotta remember that this camera I'm shooting on, this old Ricoh A100, it's a pretty old camera. I can't imagine my dad got it serviced. And if he did, he would have got serviced a long time ago. So I feel like the camera does need a bit of a service, but it is just an old camera as well. I am comparing a lot of those to the stuff that I used to shoot on this camera here, which is a Pentax MZ50 35mm. Pretty basic camera. Interchangeable lens, semi-digital, display on it. Used to shoot loads of bike photos with that years ago, so I want to try shoot on that and see what the difference is. But generally, I've had quite a bit of fun shooting the film and the digital cameras. You know, I think what's interesting is the mindset difference between film and digital. I feel like on the film side of things, I am capturing a photograph, capturing a moment that I'm seeing. I'm setting my settings, I'm taking my photograph of what I see right there, and I move on. And I'm kind of trusting my ability to set my camera right, and be trusting in the camera to capture what it captures. But with digital, I feel like it's more curation, because you can adjust so many things, because you have that ability to instantly review what you've done. And while I used to always look at that as a negative, as a lazy way of doing things, I feel like actually it suits me pretty well, because I shoot a lot for post. And that is because I think, like, I've been a graphic designer for years, so I've always been about photo manipulation and designing stuff to tell a story or share a message or whatever that is. And I think I shoot photos the same way. I want my photographs to represent what I saw. So I might shoot something knowing that I want to edit certain things or tweak certain colors or bring back a little detail in the sky, or you know, lift a little bit of detail in the rocks in the foreground or whatever that is. And I feel like that mindset's quite different. It's way more organic and way more authentic when I'm shooting with a film camera, because I'm just taking photographs of what I see. But I do feel like it's for me anyway, it's way more snappy. Just snap, crack on, move on. Whereas the digital, I'm focusing a lot more on. I'm trying to make something. And I imagine if you shot on film all the time, you'd probably take that approach with film. But I'm just comparing my mindset in the two different ones. So I think that's kind of quite interesting. But it's been really, really good fun comparing the two and shooting the differences. And if anything, it's actually shown me what I quite like more about digital photography, which I didn't think I would say at the beginning. You could argue that I just need a shitload more practice with a film camera, which is probably very true. But it has shown me the love for digital that I quite like. I'm going to shoot some stuff on the Pentax MZ50 at some point in the future, but this isn't going to be a channel where I just compare film and digital all the time. I'll just drop it in every now and then, maybe on my Instagram if you want to go check that out. There's a link below. You can check that out, Dylan Osborne. But look, thanks very much for watching. This has been good just to get out and shoot photos and make videos again. I feel like I've really struggled to find the motivation to go and just shoot and film these things. I have definitely spent a lot less time online on social media, and a lot more time just living my life. And that's been quite refreshing. But I'm trying to find a way to bring balance back in, because I love making videos and taking photographs. So I'm trying to just work away to get doing that a lot more. So this has been good fun to do this. It's been interesting. It's been a nice fun exercise to do all that stuff. So thanks very much for tuning in and for watching another episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, drop me a comment below. Let me know if you've shot film. Side note, this is the 5th time I've recorded this, because I recorded it first ages ago, a while back, and then just formatted the card on the way out the door. Just assumed I'd copied it, format the entire card, but I packed all the gear away. Then I'd done 2 takes at that. Then I came back here and I did a first take, didn't like it, did a second take. The microphone, the audio interface for the mic had gone flat. And then this is take 5. So hope you enjoyed it, folks, because I'm losing the will to live with this outro.